everybody, welcome to my tunnel. I'm Barbara with another Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm glad that you're here. As you can see behind me, you can kind of see the condensation on the tunnel. Y'all, it's cold. I am in Tennessee in zone 7B. And in this video, I'm going to take you along with me as we winterize the tunnel and just do whatever we can before the bad weather comes. Now, we live in an area where we don't get a lot of snow. Like, we get snow maybe once a year, and we're talking a couple of inches. So it's not like a big deal. It's a big deal here because it rarely snows, meaning it's a big deal. People go to the store, of course, buy at the store. People don't go anywhere because the roads are slick because we don't have the equipment and all that good stuff like you would in some northern cities that get a ton of snow. But needless to say, all across the United States, you probably know by now, there's a winter storm watch. And so we're supposed to be getting up to 6 inches of snow within the next 24 hours, which is like major. But also, more importantly than that, or just as important, are the temperatures are really going to dip, right? And so thankfully for me, I don't have anything outside growing except garlic, but I have a ton of the stuff in the tunnel. And even though the tunnel is protected culture, when temperatures get so low, we got to do some extra measures to make sure that the stuff in the tunnel will be safe. So the temperature tonight, I think, is supposed to get to 20 degrees. But for the rest of the week, we're talking single digits. One night is going to be 0, then 6, then 4. So single digits, which means it's going to be cold, y'all. And so I came out here to do whatever I can to protect what's in the tunnel. And I thought I'd take you along with me. We had the same type of weather last year. Around this time, it was in December. It was like the week before Christmas, we got into the single digits. I was very grateful and thankful that I did not lose many of my crops. We insulated and covered them well. I know many people lost a lot of stuff in my area, but we were very blessed that we did not lose the majority of our stuff. We lost, I don't know, maybe 10%. I don't even remember. It might not have been that much, but we were very blessed. And so I'm hoping for the same blessing this year. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to water first, then I'm going to harvest what I can, and then I'm going to cover the rest. And so I thought I'd take you along with me in this journey. Right now, the high today is like 32 degrees, so it's really cold outside. It is right now 60 degrees in the tunnel, which I can work in 60 degrees. And the sun is not out. It's very cloudy today. If the sun was out, it would be much warmer in here. It can get up to, I don't know, 95 to 100 degrees, especially without the shade cloth on. So another reason why I'm glad we have the shade cloth off is 60 degrees. I can work in here at that temperature, but my job is to get this done quickly before the temperature starts to drop and before it starts to drop in here. So let me know what area you're in, and if you already have bad weather, if you have snow, what you've done to protect things and all of that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually water. And so watering before a freeze is really helpful for your plants because it helps to insulate the plant and the cell walls, right? If your plants are really dry and the soil is really dry and you have a freeze come in, they are more likely to get injured or damaged because they are dry. Now, I don't understand all the science behind that. I just know that's what I've been told. That's what I've read. That's what I've done. And so I'm going to do it again. Okay. So, and again, if this stuff was outside, which I'm so thankful that I don't have stuff outside. Last year I did. And if you've been following me, you know that this is the first year where I decided to just grow everything in my tunnel during the fall and winter and not have anything outside like broccoli, lettuce, and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just not needed since I have the high tunnel. And most of these things, it's been as low as, I would say, 22 degrees here in the tunnel, and nothing has been affected whatsoever because everything in here is pretty cold hardy, right? To at least 20 degrees, your broccoli, your cabbages, your collards, and all that. But when it gets to 0, and that we want to make sure that we do everything we can to protect it. So I got my watering on. Let's water first, and then we'll come back and tackle. And then also I'm going to up pot some house plants today as well that need to be up potted and put them back in the sunroom where they're going to be nice and toasty. And then also my herbs that are in containers, I've already taken most of them to the house in the sunroom. I have one left to take, which is my rosemary, just to make sure that everybody stays warm. So let's get to watering. So we got everything watered very, very well. So next I'm gonna up pot my house plants. So let me put this there, and then let me show you what we are up potting. So this one is doing well. I think it needs a bigger pot. And then this one has really grown, and it's a little unsteady. It's like leaning over. So we're gonna up pot that to support it some more, but it's doing well. It's like a succulent. Both of these are succulents. So let us get to doing that. And I think I'm going to put this one in this pot here. So I really enjoy my houseplants, especially this time of the year. I can go in my sunroom and see all that greenery. And for the most part, I've done pretty good with the houseplants. I must say, for me not to be a houseplant person, meaning I don't have a lot of expertise. But so far, I've picked varieties that are pretty to me. I've tried to choose a varieties of textures and things like that. And just what makes, what looks good to me. Past that, I haven't, I don't like do research and all that good stuff. It's really just for aesthetic purposes. This one is really needs some support. It's like leaning. See if we can get it to stand up some more. What I want to learn how to do next is propagation. Look, my little things are coming off. I want to learn propagation next. For those that are into houseplants and know a lot, do I really just take like a piece of the plant, put it in water, let it root, and then put it in dirt? Is that what you do? That's just my guess. I've never done it before. Let me let you see. Yeah, all of these just fell off. Look at that. What does that mean? Is that supposed to happen? I'm assuming they'll grow back. When I just said, hey, all my houseplants have been doing pretty good, they just fell off. They were all like the bottom lower leaves. I don't know what kind this is because I don't have a card for it, but it seems pretty fragile that all of them are coming off. But I've up potted it, so I guess we'll see what happens. Let me see if I need to add a little bit more dirt. Let me know if you know what kind this is and if I'm doing something wrong. I'm putting more dirt. Like I said, I'm just using my intuition. I'm putting more dirt up here by the neck of the plant just so that it can kind of, I don't want to bend it too much to try to get it to stand up, but just trying to support it right there. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to take that one back in the house and see if it bounces back. Then we're going to up pot this one. And this is a succulent as well. It doesn't have a name. Okay, so we got that done. So now I'm going to harvest whatever I can. I have some cabbage to harvest and a bunch of collard greens. So I'm going to get my baskets and let's go see what food we can get. And I harvested 2 cabbages last week and we had them for dinner this weekend. I mixed, it's the first time I've done this. I mixed cabbage and kale together and sauteed it. It was so good. I had people over and they loved it. So, and they was like, I've never seen that before. And I'm like, I hadn't either. It just popped into my head, so I did it. So if you've never done that before, try it, cabbage and kale. So let me get my baskets and let's see what we can harvest. Okay, y'all, so I got 3 cabbages. You can see what they look like here. So I'm very proud of that. Like I said, I harvested 2 last week, and we ate those. They were delicious. So this is all that I have left. But of course, I started some seeds. So we should hopefully have another round of cabbage, even more bountiful than this. And oh, just to update on the seeds we started together last week. I've taken those in the house. I purposely left them out here all last week because I wanted to see if they would germinate. And it was really just me testing it. I'm always trying to not necessarily push the limit. Well, I do push the limits, but I'm always trying to test so that I know for myself what can happen in my environment. So, of course, it's been below freezing at night, but during the day, it's pretty warm in here. So I wanted to see if the seedlings would germinate in the tunnel in the winter. And so remember, we did 2 trays. And so I came out here Friday, which was day 5, and 1 tray had germinated. The bok choy cabbage, no, bok choy, collards, lettuce, and all that had germinated. The other tray of cabbage and broccoli had not germinated. So I took them in the house because I knew it was going to be cold. And I didn't want to keep them out here this week. And within 24 hours, the rest of the first tray completely germinated. And now the cabbage has germinated. The broccoli has not germinated, or the spinach. But I am hopeful. If not, then I'll just reseed. But that was good to know that I didn't have to bring them in my house in order for them to germinate for the most part. So the seedlings are tucked away in the house. They'll stay there for the rest of this week at least, because the temperatures down here will be too low, and at night and even in the daytime, the high is going to be like 25, 30, and it may be 60 degrees in here. But what I'm not going to do is come down here every night and take them and put them in my house. I really don't plan on coming down here for a couple of days. Of course, I'll come in and check on things once, in a couple of days to see how it's faring once we cover it with like single digits. And of course, I'll keep you guys updated. But we have 3 cabbages. That's all that we have. And so right now we're going to harvest all of these collard greens. My thought is that if for some reason the covers don't work and we lose anything, at least we would have harvested all that we could and benefited from that, versus leaving it here for it all to kind of get decimated or whatever, which I think we're going to be okay, but I'm just taking an extra precaution and just go ahead and harvest everything that is ready to be harvested. And I would encourage you to do the same. So let's harvest these collards, and then we'll cover everything up, and then we will be done. Okay, y'all, 60 degrees in the tunnel is now starting to feel a little cool, a little chilly. When I first came out here from the 30-degree weather, I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. Now it's starting to feel a little chilly in here. But we've harvested 4 baskets of collard greens. We're about out of space, and we still have 1 row left. I don't know that I have it in me. Oh, my husband just brought another basket. That means we got it in us to put some more in. But then we also just pulled out the frost cover as well to see how many we have. This is frost cover that we had last year. I'm glad that I took the time to store it properly and put it in a bin. I'll use the frost covers as much as I can. And then, of course, we have this insect cover on it for the last few weeks or so. I'll supplement with that because it's not going to be as thick as the frost cover. But we're going to use the frost cover first, and then we'll see what we still have left that we need to cover. Here's my husband getting the last row of the collards. Does it feel like the temperature's dropped in here?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it was feeling quite pleasant. Now all of a sudden it don't feel pleasant anymore. So we about to pick up the pace and hurry up and get out of here, because this is not meant for us. This is meant for the plants, not this weather. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna start pulling out the frost cover. Okay, y'all, we have covered everything that we can possibly cover. Obviously, the priority was the collards, the kale, the spinach, the lettuce, all the things that are fully mature. I did not have as much frost cover as I thought I did because I forgot that last year we used some leftover landscape fabric that was really thin. It worked last year, so we're gonna pray it works again by God's grace. I only had half of that was actual frost cover, and that's what you see behind me in the white. So I covered the 2 rows of greens with that, and then another kale over here. Everything else has the black landscape fabric on it. I should have done my due diligence and checked, but I just knew that I had the whole bin was frost cover. I forgot that that's what we used last year, but there's nothing I can do about it now but pray and hope that it all works out okay. But we are leaving with 5 baskets full of collards and 3 cabbages. I did not harvest the kale just because we're running out of time. The temperature is dropping. I'm starting to hear precipitation, so we're gonna get on to the rest of our day and get in the house. We gotta get some firewood in the house. We've checked on the water. There's a couple of things that we need to put up as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. But I wanna say thank you guys for joining me. I hope that wherever you are, I hope that you are safe, that you are warm, and that your plants are protected. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys do to winterize your garden spaces or things like that. Remember, gardening is a journey. This is part of it. I wish everybody great blessings during this winter storm. I pray that you stay safe and that your plants are protected. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.